Hello, welcome back, or welcome to DIS. I am Decidia, and you are hearing me speak again, or for the first time. Whichever it is, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are always welcome. And today we are going over the lore crafting of the unique Warlock subclass of the Orphan. Something that I think is very unique in its story and its flavor. So without further ado, let me pull it up and do a little quick recap, and then we can do some lore crafting around it. I feel like this is unique in the way that it can be used for good character arcs of growth, or also for maybe sympathetic villains or any other individual who would words and things, who would wish to distance themselves from anything that could hurt them. But yeah, the Orphan is a being who has no known parentage. That's the being, the Patron, whose existence has been spent wallowing in loneliness. And so it bestows power on those with that same or similar lineage of maybe they don't have any parents, but maybe they don't have any friends, or they're maybe outsiders, or they've walked away from their previous life. They've left things behind. And I feel like that is a very, very, very beautifully rich idea for a character just already woven into that. Although some of the features are more about them standing alone and becoming very resilient for themselves, very self-sustaining. But I feel like you could also, with the flavor of it, the story of it, you could also create a story of a character or whoever who's learning to turn away from a terrible situation and grow from that experience, and learn to become better in a better part of society, and to become part of a community that would accept them as they are, not being, because they were saying they could be outcasts in like their religion or their school system, or however you want to put it, but then they could learn to become accepted by another community that is maybe comprised of those who are outlaws, or what have you. I think that would be very cool. Or you could have the villain be someone who has been outcast in the whatever, or has no true parentage, and they've delved into it, and they've become so self-sufficient that they don't think that anyone could help them at all. Maybe they use other people for their own selfish gain, which I think could be very cool, very interesting, sad story to tell at the table. Either one of redemption, or one who's turned to the dark ways. And it could be both in the same table, and that could be a very cool, very raw story to tell. One of redemption, one of redemption, one of just falling further and further and further. Let's see here. I feel like from these the spells and the features, I could see stories of Orphan Patron, Orphan Pact warlocks being known for being kind of upstanding, they kind of invulnerable, not being able to be affected by anything, and being extremely knowledgeable in being able to get out of any dangerous situations or anything. Maybe an elusive person who knows the ins and outs of a city, and you have to go find them in order to navigate your way to escape a dangerous situation or something like that. Or even someone who set up their own orphanage or a place for outcasts to show them that there's a way past this. That could be another interesting way. Or someone who is kind of becomes a thief or a rogue or an assassin who does things in order to survive. Those are very different, varying ways for like NPCs or stories around them. And even in the before the talked about the orphans, it was talking about like otherworldly patrons, and that some patrons bestow their magic more freely than others, and it depends on how they. The warlocks who serve the same patron might view each other as allies or even siblings or just rivals. And I feel like that could be said for the orphan. It could be maybe more of siblings or more allies. Maybe siblings because they wanted to have that shared sense of loneliness and aloneness, and that creates a community where they can rely on each other. And maybe the orphan does dole out its connection to those who are more on the outskirts of society to help show that there is still someone who is there for them. And I really like that. Definitely as I don't know how often I'll say this, but I'm a Christian. I feel like I'm ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of being a Christian. It just sounds weird to say that. But I connect with the idea of because in the gospel it is all about people who have been whose connection has been torn from the Creator, God, and our Creator has devised a plan to bring us back into His presence. And I can really see that same story being told in the orphan patron, in that because also in the scriptures, God is always someone who says He's there for the orphan and the widow, people who are on the outskirts, the aliens, the foreigners, or whatever. And I can really see His influence in here, whereas someone is like, oh, I see that you feel like you're on your own, but you're not. Someone's here for you. Someone will help you be better. Turn to that person and acknowledge that you can't do anything of your own self, or you can do very little. I really like that. That is beautiful. But I can also, of course, there's also that the path that you can start becoming more self-resilient, self-reliant, and that can be very destructive both for yourself and for others. And that could be something that the orphan patron would want you to maybe fight against. Let's see what else there is. I feel like there's so many different stories you could tell from this, which I really like. I feel like this is probably my first warlock patron that I've done, and I feel like any of them could be, so rich in story, along with like a sorcerer, or any of them could really be rich in flavor and in story, depending on how you want to create your character. I really like hearing, reading, and telling these stories, coming up with these stories, how to like have that arc of growth throughout the campaign, but still with that danger of like, if you do this, this, and this, then maybe this will happen, and there's a great chance of death, and maybe there won't be a good ending for your character. But yeah, check me out on next Wednesday as I do the wizard class, the Arcanologist, which is studying the weave itself instead of an aspect of the weave, which should be really interesting. Keep checking out my streams of Lego Star Wars and Neverwinter. Those are both really fun, really cool, very different stories told. But I really like it. Neverwinter is more Dungeons and Dragons. Lego Star Wars is, of course, Star Wars, and of course, Lego, and that it's got this story of Star Wars, but it's also got the goofy gimmicks of Lego, which I love. I love, love, love. And then I'm still doing my writing. I've really stopped um, putting forth the snippets of my world building, but I should continue doing that. Maybe I can do some like little uh, videos or live streams of me just kind of talking about different aspects of a world building. Um, if you're curious about the world building, let me know, and I'll be sure to give you more portions and snippets as we go. Maybe even pulling you into this the world, the setting, so that you can see how it is, how it lives and breathes. Um, let's see here. Anything else? Not that I can think of. Of course, my sister's idea of a D&D inspired bar. That would be really fun to see in the flesh or whatever, in the brick and stone. Um, Even though that'll probably be in the future. That's something to think about. Another update of my life. It looks like that job fell through, so I'm probably not going to be switching around my streaming schedule. We'll still see. I'm still looking for a job. But there is that. Anything else? I can't really think of anything else at the moment. This has been really interesting. I will see you next time for the wizard. We're getting close with these, and then we're starting on magic items. That'll be very interesting as well. Alright, I'll see you guys later. This idiot out.